Hello guys, welcome to Concise Code channel. So in today's session we will take another set of Steam API use cases or the questions. Okay, and we'll see like how we can use the different method of the Steam API in order to solve these use cases. Okay, so let's get started. So in first use case, we have to list down all the vendors who are selling laptops in India, right? So before starting this use case, let me show you like what all the classes which I have created. Okay, so I have created this vendor service class where I created the couple of vendor objects. Okay, so and let me show you this vendor object also. So in the vendor object, we kept the couple of fields like the ID, the name, right? The product price, city, address, and the contact. Okay. So we kept this contact as a list of contacts because each vendor have the multiple contact numbers, right? So and you can check the data also. Okay, so the name, vendor name is actually the different manufacturer names. Okay, like the Hitachi, Samsung, IFB, Dell, right? And we kept the different products like the air conditioner, washing machine, microwave, monitor. Okay, so we will play around this data. Okay, so now let's check our the first use case. Okay, so you can check the code here. So we have to list down all the vendors who are selling the laptops in India, right? So first of all, we took a vendors list, right, out of this vendor service class. Okay, so you can check this method, the get vendors method, right? From this method we are getting the list of vendors, correct? So then we are like getting the stream out of these vendors. Okay, and simply we are filtering out the vendors like who are selling the laptops, right? So you can check this code here. I have implemented the conditional statement by using the lambda expression, right? I have already shown you this code like multiple times, so you must be aware about this, like, and then simply calling this collect method in order to collect the different vendors who are like selling the laptops, correct? So let me show you the output. So you can check the output, the vendors who are selling the laptops, right? So these are the vendors. Who are the vendors? The Dell and Acer, right? So these vendors are selling the laptops, correct? So let's check the next use case now. So in that second use case, we have to find out the cheapest laptop among all the vendors, right? So let's see like how we can solve this use case. Okay, so first of all we are getting the stream out of this vendor list. Okay, then we are calling the filter method in order to filter out the vendors who are selling the laptop, right, by using this conditional statement. Okay, then we are calling this sorted method. Okay, why we are calling this sorted method? Because we have to find out the cheapest laptop, right? And you can check the method signature of this sorted method. Okay, where like we can pass any implementation of this comparator interface, right? So here I'm using this comparator method which exists in this comparator, right? So I'm calling this comparing method and passing this price field, okay, by the method reference, right? Because we have to sort this record based on the price or based on the product price only. Okay, and then what we are doing, we are getting the first record, right? So this find first method, it will give us the first record out of the sorted list of vendors, right? And you can check the return type of this find first. So it will give us a like optional vendor. So in order to get the final vendor, we can call this get method, right? So it will give us a vendor who is selling the cheapest laptop, right? So by default it will perform the sorting in the ascending order, right? So it should give us a cheapest laptop only, right? So let me show you the output. So you can find this output, the Acer, right? The price of Acer laptop is the 55k. Okay, so let me show you the data which we have in the vendor service class. Okay, so first of all, let's find out like who all manufacturer are selling the laptop, right? So you can check the Dell is selling the laptop, and Acer is also selling the laptop, right? So Acer, what is the price of the Acer laptop? It is the 55k, and the Dell laptop price is the 70k, right? So the 55k is the cheapest price, right, which we are getting, right? So now let's check the next use case. So in the next use case, we have to find out what is the expensive laptop among all the vendors, right? So this is the just opposite use case from this above use case, right? So let's see like how we can solve this use case. Okay, so again, like we are filtering out the records or filtering out the vendors like who are selling the laptop. Then we are again performing the sorting, okay, and implemented this comparator interface, okay, by using this comparing method, where what we are passing the price, we are passing the price, okay. And also like what we are doing additionally, okay, we are also passing this order, okay. In this comparing method, you can check the method signature of this comparing method, okay. We can also pass this key extractor, right? So we are also passing the order in this comparing method because we have to find out the expensive laptop, right? So we will have to perform the sorting in the descending order, okay. So that's why we are passing this reverse order in this method. Then we are calling this find first method, okay. So in order to get the first record, okay, out of the sorted list of vendor, okay, then get method in order to get the final vendor, okay. So it will give us the most expensive laptop, okay. So let me show you the output. Okay, so the most expensive laptop among all the vendors, okay, so the Dell laptop is the most expensive, right? Though what is the cost of this laptop? The 70k, right? So let me show you the data also. Okay, so the who all vendors are selling the laptop, the Dell or Acer, right? So the Dell laptop price is the 70k, right? So that is the expensive laptop among all the vendors, right? So let's check the next use case. We have to find out all the branches of Dell in the India, right? So let's see like how we can solve this question. Okay, so first of all, again we are getting the stream out of the vendor list. Then we are calling the filter method, okay, and filtering out, we are filtering out the record based on the manufacturer or the vendor name, okay. So what is the vendor name? Dell, right? We have to find out the branches for this Dell only, right? So as we know, right, so we can use this map method, okay, in order to extract any data out of any object, right? So we have to find out, we have to get the city only, right? Because we have to get all the branches, right? So we have to get the city out of the vendor list, okay. So that's why I am calling this map method in order to get the list of cities, okay, for this Dell vendor, right? So here I'm passing this city, okay, and then simply call this collect method in order to collect the list of all the cities for this Dell vendor, right? So let me show you the data. Okay, so the Dell branches, okay, so Dell exists in the Pune and Delhi, right? So let me show you the data also. So this is Dell, right? And what is the city of this Dell? Delhi, right? And what else? This Dell, right? Who is selling the monitor, right? And the city of this Dell branch is Pune, right? And what else? Okay, so the Pune and Delhi, the branches of Dell are exist in the Pune and Delhi, right? So let's check the next use case. So in the next use case, we have to list down all the different products which are available, right? So this is very simple use case. Okay, so first of all, we are getting the stream out of this vendor list, then we are calling this map method in order to get the different products. Okay, and then what we are doing, we are calling this distinct method in order to find out the unique records only. Okay, or we have to find out the different product only, correct? And then calling this collect method in order to get the different product list. Okay, so let me show you the data. So this is the product listing. So there is like air conditioner, washing machine, microwave, and the monitor, laptop, refrigerator. Okay, so these are the different products who are selling by the different vendors, right? So let's check the next use case. So in this use case, we have to find out the product list of each vendor, correct? So let's see like how we can solve this use case. Okay, first of all, we are getting the stream out of the vendors, out of the vendor list. Okay, then calling the collect method, and inside the collect method, we are calling this grouping by method. Okay, so as we have to find out the product list of for each vendor, right? Product list for each vendor. That's why we will have to apply this group by operation based on the vendor name only. Okay, so that's why we are passing the vendor name here through the method reference, right? So let's check the output now. So this is the product list of each vendor. Okay, so as sir, this is the vendor or the manufacturer name. Okay, so vendor. So here you have noticed that like instead of the product name, we are getting the whole vendor record, right? And the product name is already there in this vendor name vendor record, right? So ideally we should get the product name only, okay, for each manufacturer or the vendor, right? So I have solved this issue in the next use case. Okay, so let me show you the next use case. Okay, so in the next use case, the fetch the product list only. So instead of like fetching the whole vendor record, here we will try to fetch the product names only. Okay, so the code is same. Okay, we are calling this grouping by method, but we are like calling the different version of this grouping by method here. Okay, and you can check, we can pass this classifier also, right? And what is this classifier? The classifier function mapping input elements to keys, right? Input elements to keys. So by using the classifier, actually we can downstream the data. Okay, so and in order to downstream the data, we can call this collectors.mapping method, right? So let me show you the method signature of this mapping method. Okay, so it is taking the two argument, the function, right? Function, and we can pass any implementation of the function, and we can, what else we can pass, we can downstream, right? So downstream, so it is type of the collector only. Okay, so we are implementing this functional interface by passing this field. Okay, we are passing this the product name only. Okay, because we have to, for each vendor record, we have to fetch the product name only. Okay, and we are passing these collectors because we have to find out the product list only. Okay, so that's why we are calling this collectors.toList. Okay, so this mapping method is also like a very important method. Okay, we can use this mapping method in this grouping by method. Okay, and this is very similar to the map method as we have used in the previous use case. Okay, so here we can extract the any data out of any object, right? So the uses of this mapping method is same, right? So let me show you the output now. So the product list of each vendor, you can check this output, right? For Acer. Okay, so Acer, for like what is the product list? The laptop. Acer is selling the laptop only, and Dell and what all the product are selling by the Dell, monitor and laptop, right? And IFB, he's saying he's selling the microwave, right? Whirlpool machine, right? So this is the the product list for each vendor. Okay, so now let's check the next use case. So in the next use case, we have to find out the number of products for each vendor, right? Okay, let's see like how we can solve this question. Okay, so the code is almost same. Okay, first of all, we are getting the stream out of it, then calling the collect method, then calling this grouping by method. So instead of getting the product list, now we have to find out, now we have to get the count of all the products who are selling by a particular vendor, right? So that's why we are using another version of this grouping by method. Okay, so let me show you the method signature of this group. Okay, again we are passing this classifier, right? So we are here we have to find out the count, right? So that's why we are passing this collectors dot counting method. Okay, so it will give us a count of each count of all the products who are selling by individual vendor, right? So that's why we are passing this collectors dot counting method here. Okay, so let's check the output now. So you can check the count of products of each vendor, right? So Acer, like how many products are there for the Acer? 1. Okay, for Dell there are two products are there. Okay, we can check this previous output, right, in order to validate the data. Okay, IFB 1 product, Whirlpool 1, and Samsung there is a 2 products are there. Okay, we can validate the data. Samsung is selling the washing machine and the refrigerator also, right? So okay, so now let's check the next use case. So in this use case, we have to find out the contact list of all the Dell branches across all the cities in India, right? So we have to find out the contact list city wise, right? So let's see like how we can solve this use case. So first of all, we are getting the stream out of this vendor, then calling the filter method in order to filter out the record for this Dell vendor only. Okay, then we are calling this map method in order to extract the city information and the context list, right? Okay, so here like for each record, for each vendor record, we are getting the city as well as we are getting the contact list, right, by in this code, right? And then simply we are calling this collect method in order to collect the records in the form of list, right? So let's check the output now. So you can check the list all the branches of the Dell in India, right? So what we are getting in the output, we are getting the city Pune, and for Pune this is the contact list, right? So we are getting all the contacts of Dell, okay, city wise, right? So let's check the next use case. In the next use case, we have to find out the contact list of all the Dell manufacturer, okay, in India, right? So instead of getting the contact list city wise, now in this use case, what we will get, we will get the contact list directly. Okay, we will not get the contact list city wise, right? We have to fetch the contact list, all the contacts which exist for India, right? So let's check the code. First of all, the code is same. We are calling this filter method, okay, and filtering out the record for this Dell vendor, right? And then calling this flat map, okay. So this is something different, okay, because we have to get the contact list directly. We don't want to get the contact list in the form of list only, right, as we are getting in the previous use case, correct? So that's why we are calling this flat method. So it will give us a flat contact list, okay, for all the Dell manufacturer who exist in the India, right? So and then you can check the method signature of this flat map. So instead of mapper and let me function and mapper, there are two parameter which we can pass in this, right? So what is the additional thing which we are passing in this flat method? You can check. Earlier we were getting the contact only, right? So now instead of passing the contact list, we are passing the stream, right? Because we have to get the contact links directly, not in the form of list, right? And again then we are collecting the record by using this collect method in the form of list. Okay, so let's check the output now. Okay, the contact list of Dell vendors in India. So you can check the output. Now we are not getting the contacts in the form of list as we were getting in this previous use case. Okay, here we are getting the contacts directly for Dell, all the Dell vendors who exist in the India, right? So this is all about for this session. Okay, and please don't forget to like and subscribe this channel. Okay, thank you once again.